Welcome to the Coach's Decision. Disclaimer. The views, language, and candor expressed on this series are designed to provoke thought and conversation amongst adults. Some opinions and perspectives may be unsuitable for those who are emotionally weak. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to A Coach's Decision with Chris P. Reed, where we dive into topics each week that could help you or someone close to you get through. Many of my clients are skilled at the game of life, but there are times when you have to protect the players from themselves. There are times where you need a coach's decision. My top client and producer will enlist the help of you, the audience, to navigate these times each week live. And we're going to have to get into something today that's real deep to him. What you got for us today?
So thanks, Coach. So I'm your friendly neighborhood producer. And as the coach told us, I'll be fielding your questions, so feel free to drop them in at any time. We can jump right into today's thought. In a world of 50-50, it seems like it's only 50-50 or 0-100. But in this world and in this environment, where would someone like me, you, or just the average person, it don't even have to be Lauryn Hill, but where would they find reciprocity?
I think the idea of reciprocation or giving back what you get tends to be jaded by the society in which we live in. So my mom used to have a statement that she said, fair exchange means no robber. And basically, it applied to the golden rule. And it's not that he who makes the gold makes the rules, or he who has the gold, rather, but do unto others as you would like for them to do unto you. And I think that we get into situations in life where we feel like people are doing good enough, or we make assumptions on how much they can give. And it all comes down to an effort game. We're in a society where winning is the goal, but if everybody's doing the same thing, then that's a tie. And so we're always having a compulsion to outdo each other. And that makes it difficult to navigate in relationships, whether they be professional or personal. So sometimes I think it's best if you have a group of people that encourage you or in your circle, once again, professional or personal, that you can feed off of, and it ain't always on you. Everybody got that girlfriend, that guy that when they go out, they got to make sure they got enough for his beer or his meal just in case, because he tapping on this, he frisking himself and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got it, but he out here in the new Yeezys. Like we all have those situations or have had those situations, whether it be in college or whatever. But as you mature, you have to make sure that you're around people. We used the term equally yoked last week. And you got to make sure that's just that romantic. You have to make sure you're around people that's on your level, that's in your stage in life to the best of your abilities. You can't, Steve Harvey said this, now I don't like to quote Steve Harvey very often, but everybody that came with you can't be with you or leave with you. Or like you said, Harriet Tubman said, everybody can't go.
So you're saying we need to have equally yoked friends?
Yeah. I think that, the one thing is it's not inappropriate to count and take stock of all the relationships you have and see if your efforts are being matched. That doesn't mean if you giving bread, they giving bread in return. Somebody got to bake, somebody got to sew, everybody can't get rebounds. You know what I mean? But do you feel like you are being misused or abused? It's good to be used. Everybody wants to be useful. But when you start feeling misused and abused, that's when you start having that resentment. That's when you the one that's always doing the loaning. You always the one that's checking the ID to see if this person calling. That weighs on you. But when you have people that can sow into you and revitalize and refresh who you are as a human being, somebody that you can count on to balance you out. And once again, it's great to have it romantically, but then you got to make sure you got that stuff personally in your friendships and everything else.
But with that being said, I think I remember you saying before that everybody's cup is different. So
That's
there's
correct.
16 ounces, 20 ounces,
That's correct.
44 ounces, Route 44, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Because you said making sure they match the effort.
You can
They
feel
can't
it.
match the effort on it.
They can, but so and this goes back to a story I told my daughter. If we got people on the chat or on the live, you might hear this story for the first time. But my daughter was young, and we was driving, and we had just went by Sonic, and so I had my cup, the big boy, and she had her cup, the little girl, and we was driving, and she went through this thing where she wanted something, but she was scared to ask for it, and she told me the reason why she was scared to ask for it after a little bit of prodding was that I'm always giving to her. I'm always doing for her. I'm always buying her stuff and things. And I said, that's not your role in our relationship. Your role is to do what you're supposed to do based on what you have at your disposal. So look at these cups as an example. I'm a 44-ounce glass, and all you can ask from me is 100% of what I have for you. You a 20-ounce glass, but 100% of 20 is 20. All I need is your best. You know what I mean? You're not going to match up to me. You're not going to be the parent. Same thing in relationships that you have that may not be parental. Give what you have, and that person can tell you going balls to the wall, you giving all you got. And that person can obviously tell, and women know this way more than men, you could tell when somebody cheating you. And that don't mean cheating you sexually or cheating you financially or emotionally. You know what I mean? Like you have this concept of financial infidelity that we can go into. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation where it's not that I need you to be me, because we talked about that before. You don't want two of you. That's just too many. But you need somebody to complement your style. And how they complement your style is you see that they're not letting you outwork them. They're not letting you wear yourself into the ground, taking all your good years. And then when they good with you, they can go get something young and a new model. You know what I'm saying? If she's sweeping, I'm mopping. You know, I got to match her energy to make sure she realizes this is where I add value. And a lot of times people misappropriate their value. What say you or what say the chat?
I agree. People misappropriate their value. But I did have a question. So,
Okay.
as a society, why do we think a tie is bad? Or is it bad?
But well, we think a tie is bad because we're not in a socialist country. You know what I'm saying? We're in a capitalist country where somebody got to win. Somebody got to be the person holding the trophy. We don't like, as much as we like participation for the children, we hate when Tammy got the same title I got and Tammy ain't as smart as me or haven't been working here as long as me. We hate that type of, that type of tie at that point in time. We want to prove that we have better or are more valuable. We want our husband to be taller. We want our wife to be prettier. We want her booty to be bigger. You know what I'm saying? We have a comparing type of personality, a comparing type of society. We want our rims to be shinier. Like it is what it is. Like we're not gonna be able to run from this at this point. But every time you look around, as New Edition said, competition is the world summarized in one word, if you know what I mean. So that's what it is. It's just friendly competition.
So, if you want a mate who is 6'5", knowing that the average or to tie what you would deserve, maybe average or even below average or just a different height. Why do people feel they deserve the tallest guy, the smartest guy, the one who can fix cars, mow lawns, solve math equations
Right.
and the bills, and invent something and take them out after they get off work, solving the world's problems?
I think people have a fear of failure. And so when you have a fear of failure, what you do is you self-sabotage. And you put yourself in a position where it's not even feasible that you're going to meet a dude that you go to community college and you're going to meet a dude that speaks 4 languages and that's a world traveler and he got a black belt in Kempo and all this other stuff. So you start saying that stuff. And I don't like to use the term, I don't let my clients use the term deserve. If you ever have anything you feel like you deserve, replace it with the term earn and see how you feel about that. Did you earn this promotion? Did you earn this girl's affection? Did you earn this car that you're driving? But saying you deserve love or you deserve respect or whatever, you got to earn that shit. Like you can't come in with this deserve game. And unfortunately, we let people get away with a lot of times saying they deserve this and deserve that, and we don't check them. We don't ask for receipts. We don't say, what makes you feel like? What have you done specifically, verbatim, to deserve this 6'5" dude? You are 5'1". You are 5'1". Why would a 6'5"? Why would you even want? And everybody got their thing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat, find your lost remote. But the reality of it is, if you willing to stand on that and give me receipts as to why this was always your dream, and these are the things that you've done to attract the 6'5", you found out this is where 6'5" dudes go, and this is where 6'5" dudes like to eat, and you done created a life to cultivate how you can earn the affections of a 6'5" dude, you have at it. But if you say, well, I'm me, like, shit, like, because I'm a good person, man, that's the one right there. I'm a good person. I'm kind-hearted. What the hell? You can't take that to no Bank of America, no Wells Fargo, and get nothing. There's no business perspective or a small business loan that says how good of a person are you on the application. Don't nobody give a damn about that.
So I think I agree with Daniel Young here. He's saying that I think we shine together. So I think what he's saying is a tie is actually a couple win.
Yeah. You people. So this statement that behind every good man is a good woman. I'm big on the I want you to be beside me, holding my hands. We getting the sunlight on our face, same time. You know what I'm saying? Same time. And I need you to keep up with me. But that means whatever I'm doing to keep this pace in life, you have to be doing to keep this pace in life. And that doesn't mean I'm running off and leaving you and trying to outdo you. I got to make sure you in shape when I get with you. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure you damn near there when I get there. And then I'm willing to slow up a little bit as you willing to speed up a little bit, but you got to communicate with me. Hey, this is how far are we going to go? This is what I'm trying to accomplish. A lot of times you get into these situations or relationships where you have a different destination than the person that you with. And 5 or 6 years later, he cool. Man, he's supervisor at the plant, and he higher than his daddy was by 2 positions, and that's what's up. And you wanted him to go to law school, and in the back of your mind, you wanted him to aspire for more and be greater because Sally husband, you know what I'm saying, had did that, had went to night school and whatnot. Man, you doing too much counting.
You know, I love too much counting. So Chris Partee is saying that the competitive nature should subside once you are in a committed relationship. You both are winners. What do you think about that?
No, you're not real G's. Listen, if somebody had one word to summarize me as a person, it would be competitor. It's hard to turn that shit. It's like an addiction. It's hard to turn it. Everybody know a gambler or a drinker or a smoker or a Madden champion. Like, it's hard to cut that off, man. It's hard. So when you're a competitor, you're looking at how am I vis-a-vis my peers or other folks. That don't mean you can't use your powers for good. Sometimes you use that to motivate you and cultivate your swag. You know, you see somebody and be like, when you and I met, I'm gonna tell a personal story. When you and I met years ago, we was on this floor in this corporate headquarters building, and you came in, and I was like, okay, dude, we got another brother up here. Things start going good, and then I had to come home and ask my wife for $700 for a suit budget because you was killing me. You was killing me. I was like, hey, I got to get some more suits. This dude is coming in here hurting the game. You had no idea we was racing. You had not a clue. But those type of things motivated me to get my act together, get on the treadmill. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's okay. It's okay to have role models and mentors and to compete in that regard. What you don't want it to do is consume your life. And now you trying to wish for the downfall of somebody else to artificially lift you up. Those are bad competitions. So when you with a woman, as long as y'all not trying to outdo, it's great when y'all trying to outdo each other for gifts and for surprises and for all the positive things. When y'all trying to out argue each other or out, you know what I'm saying, prank each other or she cheated. And so now you trying to cheat with 2 chicks and then she trying to, all of that can get very, very uncomfortable and dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of competition.
I define a marriage as a lifelong competition to see who loves who the most. So I definitely think the competitive nature is there. It's just different.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Chris Partee is saying also. Yeah. It's a different competition.
Yeah.
For good.
Here's the situation. You don't want to be outdone and you don't want to feel like you taking advantage if you really love that person. If you really love that job, if you really love anything. You don't want to feel lesser than, but you do have some people that are users. You have some people that are takers. And what I'm saying is you have to recognize those people in your sphere that are just natural. God bless them. God bless them. They got a case of they can't help it. They can't help but everybody got that uncle, that cousin, that every time you call, it ain't to never offer nothing. It ain't to offer nothing. When last time he called and offered anything, advice or otherwise? It's just that's they get down. They are takers through and through, and that's what they own. So you got to qualify those people and have a threshold of what you're willing to give before you have venom in your heart and you pissed off at them, and now it's on sight with them because they just can't help who they are. Some people can't hear the truth, and those people you need to stop talking to because that's what you own. You like you say, I'm on the side of justice. So you don't come here if you don't want this justice.
Always. Now, Daniel Young is asking, did you want to hit him with the track baton? I feel like we was in the same lane, racing, or in a relationship, you're in the same lane. But if another team is about to lap you, that's not in the sprinting races. But yeah, I want to hit them with another team, but not somebody on my team.
Here's the situation. It's funny because we end up evolving to Key and Peele had this they had this skit where they was growing beards and mustaches trying to outdo each other when they was in the office, and I found that and I showed it to you and we thought that was funny because of the parallel. Once again, you want to have iron sharpening iron wherever you can. You absolutely want that in a romantic relationship that you hope to last a long time. If you want it to last a short time, you absolutely want that iron sharpening iron in the bedroom. But whole nother situation. But I think that you have to realize, is this person on your level? I said something in the thought that said, birds of a feather flock together, right? So that translates to eagles don't fly with pigeons. You never see 2 or 3 eagles flying with a flock of pigeons. That's not how that works. So it doesn't mean discriminate against people that's totally different from you or nothing like that. But what it does mean is if you think you're 8 and most of your circle is 5s, you're not an 8, fam. You're not. You're not. You're not. You're doing bad math. You know what I mean? If you think you're the only 8, you are lying and you are one of them. You're a 5 or whatever number you choose to give them. Trust me, it's not a situation where a whole bunch of 5s are comfortable being around a 9. That don't even happen. And so you think you got underlings. That's not the case. They're using you. There have been situations like that. I knew people when I was young where he had the job and had all the money and had all the parties and was buying all the beers and the drinks and that, but he had insecurities, obviously. Like, you don't have to be a psychologist to understand. Somebody that keep goons and underlings around them have insecurities. They want to be the man. Because soon as somebody else that come in with a nice car and that's been working out and all of that, he got an attitude with Buddy and don't even know Buddy because Buddy could take his crown, right? So you just got to be good with yourself, but also you got to get around people that's going to motivate you. You can't run a race and become faster if you always racing slower people. You got to have a rival. You got to have a rival. Now, there's been times in my relationships where the rivalry has gotten a little heated. You know what I'm saying? We done have some malice in the palace type of emotions in my relationships, but it's good. It's good for the rivalry. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. So can a group of 5s hang together?
Yes.
And there be peace and harmony?
Yes.
But you grow to be an 8. Do you stay with the flocks that got you there?
You
or you
can't.
get a new flock?
How the hell are you growing? That doesn't even make sense. Y'all, fish grow as big as the tank. So you in a small tank, you can't grow. That's not how science works. You know what I'm saying? You're not around all these 5s and even thinking 8 thoughts. You're not even thinking 9, 10 thoughts because you with a whole bunch of 5s. So you exposure expands expectation. You have to expose yourself in situations where you can't, use N words and have your bra strap showing in the back at this party. Like, that's not. If you want to be on that, be on that. You got to commit to the bit. You got to pull a D wheel. You know what I'm saying? Change the whole wardrobe. Start talking different and everything. Enunciate. All of that.
Dang. So can the group, and this is to Jasmine's point, she said that's a healthy competition. Check the
4 people around you.
Yeah. So Can the whole group of fives grow to six together?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's every young team that ever existed, but y'all started with a common goal and accountability. Y'all started with some accountability. And y'all was willing to call each other out and be like, hey, I thought this was we was on. I thought that we was on this pace and headed toward this destination. And you fucking up the church's money. You holding us back. Hey, we gotta let you go. Started off with too much cargo. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to ask you Daniel Young's question.
Okay, give it to me.
Can a group of eights decrease to sixes?
Man, so this a whole nother. We don't have time for this today, but we had a we had a conversation about voting people out the family, right? about cancers and about people bringing you down like Bobby did Whitney. Go ahead. You don't want to argue this because you argue this every time I blame it on Bobby. So I know if you wanted to get in.
It was not Bobby. It was Whitney. She was older. She was the one.
Man, so anyway, you can become distracted by your surroundings and end up letting somebody infect your style. And so, yes, you have to, carve that out. I call it pruning. You have to prune your life and make assessments periodically to see, is these people on what I'm still on? You could be in a relationship where y'all start off, y'all in your 20s, y'all smoking, drinking, and chilling, riding around, you know what I'm saying, 808s and everything else. And then by the time y'all 30, she over that. You know what I'm saying? And she done found the Lord and all this and all that. She got to realize, can you go still with me? Because I have matured beyond that. So you got to get somebody that's on your pace. Once again, they got to keep up with you if you're aspirational. Or if you're just trying to retire, you got to let them know, hey, I'm about to be off that. I'm just letting you know up front. I know this is what we've been doing. I'm no longer going to have interest in that. So, whatever the case may be. Like I almost broke up with a chick one time because she went vegan. We ended up breaking up anyway, but it was almost immediate when she went vegan. You know what I'm saying?
So can negative thoughts be more contagious than positive thoughts? Are they, or can they be? Or can positive thoughts be more contagious?
No, I don't put a whole lot into. I know you start with you, but when you talk about your surroundings, it's all about actions. You know what I'm saying? It's not a shame, not a shame. It's a problem when you're not acting in the right way. Thoughts are gonna happen because you get into your own head and you have all these other things. When you start trying to articulate and convert people, I don't have converting conversations. Y'all might think I'm not trying to convert y'all to anything. I'm just telling y'all my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If it don't apply, let it fly. But in the idea of negative thoughts, sort that out and figure out what works for you. Because if you're just sitting around thinking negatively, that's a different level of conversation that needs to be had with somebody qualified. But your actions allow for other people to dictate what you really on. Like, some Missouri type stuff, show me. So I believe in the actions more than the thoughts at that point. And I'm sure that I have all kinds of thoughts that I would dare not share with my wife. Right.
So Daniel Young has a question. Depends on the eight. Is it a selfish eight or unselfish eight? If you're selfish, you're not an eight.
There's an absolute value to these numbers. Once you achieve number status, that's what you is, right?
Is there such thing as a selfish eight?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
I mean, they could look like it on the outside, though.
Look, this I look at it like this too, cuz numbers is like nicknames. You can't give yourself one. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else has to qualify you as an 8, 9. If you're a woman and no dude has ever said you was a 10, you're not a 10. Ta-da, we there. You're not a 10. Whatever you are, ask dudes. Ask 5 random dudes, what number would you give me? Do the average, and that's your real number. You're welcome.
Dang, that's eye-opening.
Yeah, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Them numbers is real.
I want to pivot to what Olipop said.
Okay.
A wise man once told them, can't be a recovering addict in a crack house.
You can think, once again, these are the thoughts. You can think you are, but your actions are confusing the hell out of everybody, right? That's just not how it works. You got to get there and sustain something in order to teach someone I had this statement one time, and I know we coming up on it, but if you never been to Maine and I never been to Maine, I can't take your ass to Maine. We're going to Maine together. I can't tell you nothing. But we allow for people who ain't never did a damn thing come in talking tough and talking big and lead us and guide us to different directions and paths, and that's trash. You know what I'm saying? So I think that in the idea of you deciding you want to move on, you got to commit to the bit. You got to be all in on certain things. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
Well, the last thing I wanted to ask you about is
Right.
you said that you don't think you're better.
Mm-hmm. No, I do think I'm better. You talk about you, the proverbial you.
No, I thought it was you. Like you
No,
said, you don't think you're better than your best friend.
that's
You think,
true.
but
That's
I
a true statement,
absolutely
though. That's a
think
true statement.
that I'm better than you at some stuff. You're better
Absolutely,
than me at some stuff.
absolutely. But
You know,
once
as
again,
a
we talk
person,
about
I'm not better than you. I'm not better than Daniel Young. I'm not better.
that blended average, and I'm gonna tell you what makes me better than my peers or better than other people. Give a damn an effort. You're not gonna ever be able to, for me to see that you not trying as hard as I am, and I give you the credit for being. I don't care how much money you got, how much hair you got, how much ass. I don't care what you have. If I see that you're not giving it like I'm giving it, I'm not giving you that designation of being better than me. Now, if I see, and I know people that are in worse situations than me financially, emotionally, spiritually, but I see them try. Once again, that ounces of glass, that glass, ounces. They trying they ass off. They giving 100. I'm usually 3/4 speed. I'm giving about 85, 90, leaving something, you know what I'm saying, in the reserve. But I see people going balls to the wall, and I got to give them a salute. They just don't have the ability. They just they just wasn't born with it. But I got to give them the credit for the effort. I give conduct the effort grades. And so, yes, in the idea where I say without a shadow of a doubt, I'm better, is because I rarely see somebody like you that I can say, damn, he tried on that one. Damn, he tried. It's been times where I done called you, ask you questions, and you hang up. Like, I'm not telling you that, figure that out. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you gotta have that. You gotta have that situation where not only do you see this person can accentuate your perspective, but also you know where you fall in. Everybody can't rebound. I'm not saying we need a team of rebounders and everybody's fighting each other for rebounds. But as a team grows and is successful, they figure out where their niches are, where they bring to the table. And then nobody feels like they being cheated because I got 17 rebounds and he had 17 points. And 9 of them was off my rebound. Like, that's how that works. We can't have an AAU mentality in this life.
Okay. So, any final thoughts on reciprocity or where to find it, how you get it, how to look at it?
You got to take inventory of your folks. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be honest. It's not a seniority grade. Stop thinking because you've been fooling with this chick for 10 years, 15 years, or you done had this friendship for this long, because as you said, people change, seasons change, you change. And so you got to constantly calculate and calibrate. Are we still on the same wavelength? Is this frequency still connecting? Are we good? Because it's okay to outgrow people. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. So
Tell us about the dream, Coach. Tell us about the dream.
all right, man. So this week, dream of the week, dog. Situation is, and I know where it came from. So in my dream, Tiger Woods, in real life though, Tiger Woods is dating Donald Trump, ex-daughter-in-law. Okay. So in the dream, we find out that we got like a golf course, PGA golf course by the crib, and Tiger Woods is coming through. And Donald Trump and the vice president is going to be joining him, and they checking in on some of their fans, right? So I just happen to have a neighbor in real life that's a real super, like got the flags and all of that, right? All of that, the pajamas and whatnot. So anyway, they gonna come and holler at the neighbor, okay? So the dream is regular. My wife find out Donald Trump is coming to holler at the neighbor and blah, blah, blah. And so, they're going to be here on Saturday and whatever. And I don't know if anybody else got Amazon Prime, but Amazon Prime, somebody would tell you how many stops they are away from your crib, right? So we got the app, and it's telling us Donald Trump is 10 stops away from the crib type deal, right? Or he on the way.
He's seeing all of his fans.
No, they won like a little lottery or a raffle or whatever the Trumpeteers do. So they coming to see my neighbor. My neighbor geeked up. She's saying we need to clean up. just in case they come by here. I don't give a damn if they. So it starts a huge argument. It starts a huge, and she is determined. Now, keep in mind, she's a clean person anyway. But now she's trying to extra clean and wash baseboards for Donald Trump and Tiger Woods and JD Vance. What is we doing? They're not coming in this house. But just in case, she's making me in the house crazy with doing all these chores. And then it gets to the point where I'm about to go off, and then I wake up.
They all could have needed to use the restroom or something.
Not over here, they couldn't. Yeah, my neighbor has a house about the same size as mine, so he should have 3 or 4 bathrooms over there too for Tiger Woods and his girlfriend. Like everybody could have been in the bathroom at the same time over there.
Well, you got Secret Service. You got other people
coming over here, bro. Listen. If the Secret Service has to use a warrant or some type of executive, whatever, to get up in here, they gonna see the office ain't clean. I'm not cleaning up for these people, bro. I'm not.
But so if everybody knows that the president is about to stop at this house, it could be some type of attack, and they're gonna have to take cover in y'all's house.
And they should be focused on taking cover. How dare them come to take cover, open the door, be like, hold up, y'all got roaches. We can't take cover.
Take cover. They're like, oh, these baseboards could use a
Exactly. So that's what it is, man. But that was the dream, and that's how it went down. My dreams be my dreams, and it is what it is. So at this time, we want to make sure y'all tune in next week to Coach's Decision with Crispy Reed. Bring your baggage and drop it off for us to sort through. And until next week, we want y'all to take it easy, or at least take it any way you can get it.